And I'm curious about, I think anyone who follows your blog or follows what you've written has a pretty good feeling for why you might speak to the concept of unpopular. But what I'm most curious about is, because the book involves so many case studies and so many different small businesses and so many different brands, tell me about the concept of unpopular when you started, and you have already a little bit, but did it change any as you wrote the book and as you were finishing up the book? What did you learn about maybe because again, you do a good job explaining in the book what you learn about each case study, but I'm curious if your definition of unpopular changed.
It didn't, but what it did is my appreciation for it grew. And I got to, the greatest gift in writing this book, and maybe it sounds like a load of BS, but the companies that I got to meet in the process of writing this book reinforced to me that I love what I do for a living. And these are each people, business owners, founders, companies that took a stand, took a path, decided to take a path, and they're not the traditional case studies that you would think of when you pick up a business book. They're not the big Southwest Airlines and Zappos and Dells and Comcast. And I'm tired of hearing about those companies. There are tons of people out there who want to build a business and they have no dream to ever be a Southwest Airlines, and that's okay. They want to build something that's fantastic for their local community, for a niche, and they can't relate to these ginormous strategies that are laid out in these super complex business books, and that's okay. So I took these case studies. I met these businesses, and they're all privately owned. They're all family owned, and there are, I apologize, they're not all family owned. They are all privately owned. The majority are family owned. And they've done something that, as a fellow business owner, I thought was incredible. They've found a way to dive into a niche, scale, keep their customers happy, wash, rinse, repeat. And none of that came from having vanilla, yellow dotted line, middle of the road strategies. These are all businesses that have opinions. They stand for something. And a lot of people confuse the term. The question I'm asked most often is being unpopular mean being unlikable? And they're actually two very different things. To me, unpopular business decisions are ones that may be tough to make right now, but they're for the best long-term interests of your business. And by that, I mean they're in the long-term interests of the people who love you, pay for what you have to offer, and want to see you again day after day. Unlikable business decisions are the Netflix fiascos. They're the Bank of America stories. They're the ones that forget that their customers are the reason that they get up to go to work in the morning in the first place. And they end up to be public relations and actually business tragedies. So being unlikable and unpopular aren't the same thing.